Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? My name is Attorney Charles Zavala, your immigration lawyer. Our office, Zavala, Texas Law, is located here in beautiful Houston, Texas, but we can help you no matter where you are in the USA or if you're abroad. Over 10 years experience, 4.9 out of 5 stars on Google. We're here to help you. So the purpose of this video is there's kind of been a big policy change in immigration that happened middle of September, which is going to be a huge bummer for a lot of people who are in this country undocumented. So I'll try to give you a little bit of a background, tell you what happened and how this affects everything. But long story short, they essentially changed the rules on an immigration bond, as in who is eligible for an immigration bond. So let's just role play a little bit. Let's pretend, here, I'll use my daughter's little cow. Little cow entered from the country of cow, entered the USA undocumented, as so they entered the country without permission. Let's pretend they entered 10 years ago. They entered the country without permission. They've been living here in the country undocumented. Let's pretend ICE gets them for whatever reason. In the past, what they do is they now put them in immigration proceedings, which is called like kind of deportation proceedings or immigration court. And what we would do as immigration lawyers is we would fight for a bond so that they can get out of jail, and we would fight their case on the outside. Similar to a criminal case. For example, if somebody gets arrested for a DWI, they're in jail, you would then go try to fight for a bond. A bond allows them to get out of jail, but their case keeps on going. It's not that their case disappears. They just don't have to wait in jail during the entire time, which is a great idea because some of these cases take multiple months, sometimes even years. So that's the way it has been. That's the way it's been the entire time I've been practicing, which is over 10 years. However, there was a recent case that came out of the BIA, which stands for Board of Immigration Appeals, and it's not favorable. You know, the case is called the matter of HURTADO. Long story short, what this has completely changed the landscape. So the ruling in this case said that if someone enters the country without permission, undocumented, illegally, whatever you want to call it, the judge no longer has jurisdiction to give you a bond. Because you were never, so Mr. Cow was never admitted into the USA, right? He never came in with permission, or the government knew that he was coming in. So what this court ruling is saying is because he was never admitted into the USA, the immigration judge does not have jurisdiction. Therefore, the immigration judge cannot give him a bond. The only people that could give him a bond or could release him would be DHS, Department of Homeland Security. But let's be honest, they're not going to do that. So in reality, what does this mean? This is a huge change for everybody, because there is a lot of undocumented people in this country who have been here for years, decades, maybe even 20 years. If they get caught by ICE, which is happening a lot right now because they're doing raids at work, for multiple reasons people are getting caught, they would no longer be eligible for a bond, which means that they have to fight their case in immigration detention, which is not good because A, it's very stressful on the family because they don't get to be with their loved ones. Two, it's hard to think about yourself. I mean, if you were in jail, how hard would it be for you to coordinate things, money, transfer, speaking with family? It's very difficult to do it. And three, it makes the cases move faster. When you're on what's called a detained docket, which means you're in jail, they can't have you be waiting in jail the entire time. So your case moves faster, which is a good thing and bad thing. It's a good thing if you're going to win your case. It's a bad thing if you're not going to win your case. So now because all these people are detained, their cases are going to move faster. So this is not good for the immigration defense world. This is just another peg in this presidential administration that's making immigration much harder. So this is going to complicate a lot of people. So now let's say fast forward. Mr. Cow entered 30 years ago, undocumented. Let's say he got pulled over. Actually, let's say he got pulled over. He wasn't even driving. He was just in the back seat. Because they find out he entered the country illegally, they will now take him to immigration custody. We used to be able to get him a bond so that he can go out and fight his case. He is no longer eligible for that bond, so he will have to fight his case in detention. And this is I mean, it definitely helps the pro or anti-immigration. I don't want to say anti-immigration movement, but it's definitely going to make life a lot more difficult, and it's going to force the immigrants to make some decisions. Because I'm already having a few clients who said, "Look, if they're not going to give me a bond, I don't want to fight my case. I'll just accept my deportation." So ultimately, it's kind of forcing their hands. So this was a really big case. I think this happened in September 5th, and like I said, the Board of Immigration's Appeals issued this. So the next question is there a way around this? Yes, but you have to appeal it and you have to go to the federal courts. Normally what happens is you go to a trial court, an immigration judge. He says, no, you're not eligible for bond. So then we appeal it. It goes to the Board of Immigration Appeals. But the Board of Immigration Appeals is also not going to let him out on bond. So then you have to apply to a federal court of appeals. And there, there is a chance of winning because there is precedent that's pro on the immigrant side. But still, I mean, the reality is a lot of these immigrants do not have the money to fight a case all the way to a federal appeal. So, that's the position we find ourselves in. That being said, if you have any questions with immigration, you need assistance, feel free to let us know. We're more than happy to help you anywhere you are in the world or in the USA. All appointments are going to be with me personally via the phone, and we can help you in English or in Spanish. Thank you all, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.